In June 2023, 5 people paid $250,000 each to visit the Titanic in a submarine built by a company that had ignored safety warnings for years. The submarine imploded. The wreckage landed 500 meters from the Titanic. In 2026, a different billionaire commissioned a $20 million submarine to go back and prove it can be done correctly. 7 levels. Let's get into it. Level 1. Tourist submersible. $250,000 per seat. This is the entry point. Not ownership, not commission, but access. A ticket on someone else's submarine to a destination you could not reach by any other means. Before the OceanGate disaster, this was growing rapidly. The logic was simple. The ocean covers 71% of the Earth's surface. Roughly 80% of it remains unmapped and unexplored. The people who had already done every other extreme experience, Everest, space, the poles, were running out of firsts. The deep ocean was the last one. You could charge $250,000 for that, and the waitlist filled itself. The buyer at this level has already done everything. He books this the way other people book a business class upgrade. He does not dwell on the engineering. Level 2. Personal submersible. $2 million to $6 million. The first level of ownership. A submersible designed not for expeditions, but for integration into a yacht as a deployable tender. Triton's 660/9AVA is the landmark product at this level. $6.35 million. Fully transparent acrylic hull. 9 passengers. 360-degree unobstructed view. Descended to 660 feet. It looks less like a submarine and more like someone asked a designer to imagine what a submarine would look like if the designer had never been constrained by the practical requirement of not being seen from outside. The design could not have existed 5 years earlier because the acrylic technology to produce a hull of that size at that pressure rating had not been developed. Level 3. Deep dive personal sub. $6 million to $20 million. The depth rating changes everything at this level. The difference between 660 feet and 13,000 feet is not a technical upgrade. It is a different category of access to a different version of the planet. At 660 feet, you are in the ocean's sunlit zone, still visited by light, still shared with recreational divers who got there without $6 million. At 13,000 feet, you are in total darkness, in water where the pressure is roughly 400 atmospheres, visiting a seafloor that has been touched by fewer humans than have walked on the moon. Triton's 4000/2, the $20 million vessel commissioned by Ohio billionaire Larry Connor specifically to revisit the Titanic site, reaches 4,000 meters. That depth rating puts the Titanic within range. It also puts virtually every significant deep ocean wreck, coral system, and unexplored geological formation within range. Level 4. Expedition Class Submersible. $20 million to $48 million. The Triton 36,000/2 Hadal Exploration System. Full ocean depth. 36,000 feet. Every point on the ocean floor. In 2019, this vehicle made the deepest crewed descent in human history, 10,925 meters into Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, and held the record. The $48 million price includes the support ship, the DSSV pressure drop, a 224-foot vessel that carries 47 passengers and crew, a climate-controlled hangar, wet and dry laboratories, specimen freezers, a media suite, and a multi-beam sonar system for mapping the ocean floor. Triton included 3 unmanned landers, acoustic modems, and 6 seafloor sample collectors. This is not a submersible. This is a research and exploration infrastructure package that happens to include one. The ocean covers 71% of the Earth. Roughly 80% of it has never been mapped at high resolution. More people have stood on the summit of Everest than have descended to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. The entire map of the Moon is more detailed than the map of the seafloor. We have better data on the surface of Mars than on the bottom of our own ocean. This is not a resource or funding problem. It is a priority problem. And private capital is filling the gap faster than any government science program has managed to. 3 levels left. The submarine becomes a navy. Level 5. The private fleet. $50 million to $200 million. At level 5, one submersible is not enough because one submersible cannot be in 2 places simultaneously. People at this level have simultaneous interests in multiple places. Ray Dalio, founder of Bridgewater Associates, approached Triton in 2010 for his first personal submersible. In 2018, he returned for a second to support OceanX, the ocean exploration and media organization he co-founded. By the time he and James Cameron became minority investors in Triton itself, the relationship had moved from customer to infrastructure co-owner. This is the level where the buyer stops acquiring capability and starts building capacity. Not one vehicle for one mission, but an organization with multiple vessels, support infrastructure, scientific partnerships, and a media operation to document what it finds. Level 6. The Research Institution. $200 million to $500 million. At level 6, the line between private collector and public institution disappears. Schmidt Ocean Institute, founded by Eric Schmidt, former CEO of Google, and his wife Wendy, operates the research vessel Falkor and its replacement Falkor 2, a 110-meter vessel built in 2022 for approximately $100 million. The institute conducts scientific research, provides free ship time to qualified scientists worldwide, and has directly funded discoveries including new coral reef systems and new species. The budget to operate at this level runs $20 to $30 million per year. This is not philanthropy that happens to involve submarines. It is a private organization that has effectively replaced the scientific capacity that government programs cut, operating with the speed and focus that a private funder can achieve without congressional budget cycles or interagency approval processes. The ship goes where the science is. It goes when the science is ready. It does not wait for a fiscal year to align with an interesting question. Level 7. The Inversion. The most expensive submersible ever associated with a private commission is reportedly a $2 billion vessel ordered by a Middle Eastern sovereign fund, a submarine yacht hybrid, reportedly designed to operate as both a luxury residence and a research platform, capable of submerging to recreational depths while providing hotel-standard accommodation for extended periods. The specifics are private. The concept is documented in industry reporting. Here is the inversion this entire video has been building toward. At level 1, you paid $250,000 to borrow access to the deep ocean for a few hours. By level 7, you are commissioning a vessel that makes the deep ocean your private property, not legally, but experientially, in the sense that no one else can be there when you are. No one else can go where you go. And the vessel itself is a statement about the relationship between personal wealth and planetary access that has no historical precedent. The 5 passengers on OceanGate's Titan paid $250,000 each for access to something no ticket, no status, and no prior achievement could otherwise provide. They paid for the last frontier. The fact that the vehicle was not safe for the frontier does not change what they were buying. Every level above that entry point is a more controlled, more engineered, more expensive version of the same purchase. At level 7, the buyer does not pay for a seat to the frontier. He pays for the frontier to be his, in the only way a private individual can own something that technically belongs to no one, by being the only person with the capability to go there. Most of the ocean has never been visited by a human being. At the top of this hierarchy, One person has arranged things so that when they do visit, they go alone. The wreck was never the destination. The depth was. I break down how these things actually work, not how the brochure describes them. See you in the next one.